Listen to this one.
Only,
I thought this one was
Martha,
hilarious.
do you hear yourself? Only a hand.
I understand what you're saying, that some people left behind, but he's making these statements that the mayor is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha,
and I want to be clear. So they're talking about the Venezuelan gangs that allegedly are taking over certain areas of Aurora, or taking over certain apartment buildings. And we've seen different videos of, describing it, but listen to this conversation.
The mayor is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated.
Grossly exaggerated.
That means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
Senator Vance, I'm going to to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
I'm sorry. I got to stop the show. I think I just had an epiphany. I think I just had an epiphany. I think I just had an epiphany, and it's happening in real time. And I'm not sure whether I should address it now or I should wait. But hold on. It's wrong for me to say. Actually, this is what I said earlier. I've been thinking about, even watching a lot of these videos, as far as me leaning towards preferring to have a male leadership in the office of president. I'm changing my stance. I'm changing my stance. I believe that when I say that, I'm doing the same thing that I get mad at other people for when they say, well, I'd prefer to have this type of person or that person. I'm using identity to determine my politics. That is not what I stand on. Moving forward, I will no longer prefer a male to be the president of the United States. I won't look at it like that. And in a lot of ways, this may seem like I'm playing around. I want to be very clear in this. Matter of fact, I don't even need to say that. I will no longer look at it like that. I am only interested in voting for whoever is the most qualified candidate that aligns with my principles, morals, values, and integrity. And obviously all of those things that I want implemented as far as the agenda and policy issues. That's my stance. I'm not being pushed in a direction because somebody is male, just like I'm not going to be pushed in a direction because somebody is black or apparently black. My stance will be very clear moving forward, and that I am only prioritizing that I will be supporting the best candidate that I believe, who I believe to be the best candidate for the job, no matter your race, no matter your gender, period. I was realizing that I was doing the same thing that I was criticizing. And I was wrong. I was wrong. I believe I was wrong. Now, I may change my position. I hope y'all are open to the fact that, but I'm going to be always honest and direct with y'all. It may change. I don't know. But as of right now, I believe that the best approach for us all to have is to remove identity politics and just say I'm voting for the most qualified candidate. And not even just say it, really just do that. And wherever that leads you to, if that leads you to vote for mostly women, if that leads you to vote for mostly men, if that leads you to vote for this black guy, that black woman, that Indian, whoever it is, that's what will navigate me to my decision. Period. I do want to talk about the reasons why, but the reasons why I made my initial statement and why I've had that mindset. I do want to talk about those things. However, I think talking about them right now would be like apologizing for something. Not saying I'm apologizing. I'm not apologizing for anything, but I'm just hear me out. You ever had somebody make an apology, but then they say but, and it completely just ruins what they said before that? I think that's what me explaining why I thought like that, or why that may have been my mindset, would do to this conversation. So I'm gonna leave it there and stand on it. And that is what it is. And maybe I'll explain the reasons in another show. Maybe we'll go over it on Wednesday. Maybe we'll go over it on Friday, or maybe we won't at all. So I'm sorry to interrupt it, but I just had to make that. I was sitting here and I was thinking about it. And I'm like, yeah, why? Usually when something bothers me, it's because I need to unpack it a bit more. And I just decided to just unpack it with all of y'all. So there we go. Now let's get back to this JD Vance. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit, if that's okay with y'all. Sorry about that. My apologies for that.
Be some element of truth here.
As far as stopping the video, and y'all, I gotta explain myself. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Grossly exaggerated.
That means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns.
A handful.
A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border. Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be. And I really find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs. I worry so much more about that problem than anything else here. We've got to get American communities in a safe space again. And unfortunately, when you let people in by the millions, most of whom are unvetted, most of whom you don't know who they really are, you're going to have problems like this. Kamala Harris, 94 executive orders that undid Donald Trump's successful border policies. We knew this stuff would happen. They bragged about opening the border, and now we have the consequences, and we're living with it. We can do so much better, but frankly, we're not going to do better, Martha, unless Donald Trump calls this stuff out. I'm glad that he did.
Okay, let's just end that with they did not invade or take over the city, as Donald Trump said. I want to move on to
just a few apartment complexes, no big deal.
A few apartment complexes at the.
This is what they do with Donald Trump. He makes the statement that Venezuelan gangs, I'm just going based on what she said, that Venezuelan gangs have taken over the city of Aurora. And her response is, yeah, they haven't taken over the city, just a few apartment complexes. This stuff is insane. Speaking about Trump, it's funny. I went to bed yesterday, and right before I went to bed, I was looking at some of the videos, and there's two other videos that I want to show you. Matter of fact, let's stick with the border. We're going to show two other videos. It's going to go a little longer, but I promise I'll have y'all out of here. Give me about 10 more minutes. Give me about 10 more minutes, all right? I want to show y'all this other video because then we have to address, when I first got on the show, I forgot. There was apparently getting ready to, there was about to be another assassination attempt on Trump. There was about to be another assassination attempt on Trump, apparently. So we got to get on that. But first, I wanted y'all to check out this video because the border apparently, and is this the video that I wanted y'all to see? Hold on, I think there's a better one. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.